Bismillah Rahman Rahim. In this session, we will discuss the safety precautions and the danger of nuclear radiation. Uh, we cannot avoid exposure to radiation in small doses. Small doses of radiation is acceptable because the radiation is available everywhere. In small doses is available in the background, but a large dose is injurious or dangerous to our health. So we should avoid large doses of radiation because it is harmful for our health. The ionizing effect produced by the nuclear radiation causes damage to the living cells and tissues in our bodies and can also lead to the mutation of gene. So this may lead to the mutation of genes. So this is injurious. We should avoid large doses. This damage may cause cell death and also induce cancer. So abnormality may occur. If the cell dies, or it's a normal phenomena, but if the abnormality occurs within the cell, then it could be cancerous or carcinogenic or dangerous. So the danger from alpha particle is small unless the source enters the body. Because this alpha penetration is very small, so it's not very harmful, but if it is ingested inside the body, then it will give a very large dose. So it should not be enter into the body in any way. But beta and gamma radiation can cause the radiation burns. This beta and gamma radiation can cause radiation burns, redness and sores on the skin. So this beta and gamma is harmful, and it gives a radiation burning effect, and delayed effects such as eye cataracts and cancer could also occur because of this beta and gamma radiation. Large exposure may lead to radiation sickness and death. So large exposure of these radiations, beta or gamma type radiations, may lead to the radiation sickness, and if the dose is large, then it could cause a death. So symbol used to warn the presence of radioactive material is shown in figure. So this kind of symbols are used where the radioactive materials are available, so that everyone should have should take precautionary measure and avoid moving in this vicinity where these radioactive sources are available. So precautions, the safety precautions to reduce the exposure to ionization radiation, we should exposure time to the radiation should be minimized. We should expose to the radiation if it's really necessary, then we should avoid exposure time. So the exposure time should be minimum if it's really necessary to have exposure. Suppose we are going to have an X-ray and the radiation will apply, but we should have a very minimum time should be there in that room, so that it gives a minimum radiation. Secondly, the distance between a source and a person should be kept as large as possible, so that everyone, if it's really necessary to work in the radioactive or radiation environment, the person should maintain a large distance from the source as much as possible. So the distance from the source should be large. Secondly, the people should be protected by the use of shielding. So shielding should be used. So this shielding basically absorbs the radiation. Lead sheet protect us from beta and gamma radiation, and alpha doesn't have a long penetration power. It only travels only a few centimeters in the air. It cannot even penetrate to our dead skin. In industry, sources are handled by long tongs and transported in a thick lead container. So these three safety measures is very important. Exposure time should be minimum. The distance from the source should be large as possible, and use shielding. So this shielding protects us from the high radiation dose. So in a working environment, we use batch contains several windows with the different types of radiation to fall onto the photographic film, and that photographic films gets the exposure, and it may be used for the accumulated dose. The radiation workers. For the radiation workers, these badges are compulsory. So the increasing use of radioisotopes in medicine and industry has made it important to find safe ways of transporting and use radioactive materials, of disposing of radioactive waste. So this handling of radioactive source is a delicate job, and it should be used and disposed in through some standard operating procedures. So in using and transporting radioactive material, the effect of ionizing radiation need to be minimized, and thick lead containers and remote handling where possible should be used. A variety of methods are used for radioactive storage. Waste with a very low level of radioactivity is often enclosing steel containers, which are then buried in a concrete bunkers. So the weak sources, if we are using in our schools, lifted with a forceps, so it gives a distance held away from the eye. So if radiation exposed the eye, the cataract may cause cataracts, or it may cause they damage the tissues inside the eyes, kept in their box when not in use. So shielded. When you have that source in the box, means it is shielded. So in the next session we will discuss this exam